Hello guys, what I'm going to do is some backtesting, and I'm really just doing this just to help some other traders. I've done this a few times where I've recorded, say, an hour's worth of backtesting live, picked random spaces on the chart and just gone through them and shown how I work my strategies. And I think the last one I did was about 6 months ago. My trading is still developing and I've made some tweaks, some improvements, and I think it would be really good, considering it's the end of the year now, just to do this again. I don't want to make it as long as the previous one, so I kind of want to rush through them a little bit quicker than I did do previously, though it is quite time consuming, obviously, doing the underwriting as we're going through. So I'm using Ninja 7, where the chart you're looking at the moment is the pound dollar on the 60. This is currently up to date, which is 15th of December, sorry. I'm just going to bring over two other charts that I've linked using global crosshairs, and this is the daily, so if you see I move that around, and then on my other screen I'll just bring this one over, and this is the 15-minute, and as you can see as I move it around, so to the left of me I'm looking at the 15-minute, which is I use an awful lot for my entry. The daily is to decide what the trend is doing or the direction, and the 60 is really my trading time frame. So what I'm going to do is I've got 2,000 days worth of data loaded. I've gone to the end here, and I'm just going to pick some random area up to this level, say, and then without seeing the outcome of the charts, we're just going to go through them. So I'm going to be looking at things like AB equals CD patterns, looking for it to come in at structure, fib confluence, then I'll be using an entry reason like a double top or a double bottom or a head and shoulders, and then I'll be looking at head and shoulders, aggressive entry on the right shoulder, and then a initial structure high or a break above, close above, a break below, close below, and then I'll be looking at advanced patterns, but I'll only be entering these if it's a double top or double bottom and head and shoulders. And then the final one will be flag patterns that I'll look at, and I pretty much trade the range of flags from 4-touch flags to just all the flags and triangles, to be honest. So let's crack on. So we're on the 60. Whenever applicable, I will bring over the daily and the 15-minute time frame. So right now, looking at the dailies, which you cannot see, we're in trend, we're bearish. We've just put in a nice lower low, lower close here on the 60. What we could be looking at here, we've got quite a nice directional move. Could be looking at an ABCD pattern coming down to this level. Not a major level of structure unless we come down, not a decent level unless we come down a little bit further. I think that's going to be a bit too far. Okay, so we've had a violation here to the downside, so right now we're just in consolidation here on the 60. And you will find that I try to talk through these trades as much as possible. I will try to go as quick as I can, but I'm a bit wary that I don't want to miss a trade. So we've now come down for this AB equals CD pattern. You can see the bottom of it here came into the closes of the candle, which is great for me. The wicks have come down and almost tested that 130-100, making this ABCD pattern still valid. We have this structure level here. We have gone oversold on the RSI. We've put in a nice pin bar. Any fib confluence, so 1618 down there. 1414, that's fantastic. That's just what I love to see. On the dailies, we've put in an indecision candle, so everything looking like we could see potential rotation here. So I'm going to be looking for a double bottom or a head and shoulders, and I'll be looking at that on the 15. Looks like we've just got it. 1 second, let me just look at bringing this over. Yes, we do. Okay, so here is the 15. And this is the area that I'm looking at here. So double bottom, we've got the RSI confirmation, we went oversold, we've got the divergence. Okay, so the closes came to there. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I forgot that when I come off and touch the screen, it moves the lower time frame and the higher time frame charts. As you can see now, I've just moved the bloody chart and it's gone on to win. Did my entry work though? Let's double check. So I'm just going to bring back over the 15-minute, and without touching, you can see here, there's that double bottom. That would have been our entry. So this was a perfectly valid trade. Okay, so here on the 15, stops would have gone, well, because that psychological number just 5 pips below the low. So we would have entered in here because that was the retest on the 15, 5 pips below the psychological number, and then we would have been playing for fib targets, 38.2 and 61.8. You can see here both have been hit, so that was a risk of 27. We got target 1s for 80, which is half, 40, target 2s 140, so 70, so that's a 110. Okay, so I've wrote that down. That's 110 pips for a very simple AB equals CD pattern, using fib confluence and lower time frame 15-minute head and shoulders. Worked out beautifully. Let's move on. 110 pips, can't be bad. Let me just put a plus next to that so that I know it is a plus and not a minus. Okay, on the higher time frame we had a violation, so we're no longer in trend. So we're going down, and I'm also checking out the 15-minute for anything on there as well. So we've just had a break below, close below. We're retracing quite nicely here. Well, no, we haven't got a break below, close below on the dailies. We've double bottomed on the 15, so I'm not looking for any shorting opportunities at the moment until we make another low. Okay, we've done that. When I do get an opportunity, I will bring over the charts. I'm just going through one candle at a time at the moment. So we violated that area. We could be looking for AB equals CD pattern, bullish. Okay, what have we got here? Okay, so we have not technically had a violation to the downside. What we've done here is new low, outside return, new low, looking for a shorting opportunity anywhere within this zone. And what happened is we put in this AB equals CD pattern. And do we have any fib confluence up there? We have a 1618. We have a 1414. That's lovely. We haven't as yet closed above this level. We do have a psychological number right here, 130-100 to hide stops behind. We haven't quite 79.99, almost overbought. Just checking out the lower time frame. There's nothing on there yet. Let's scroll one to the right. Okay, we violated, so that's invalid now. Okay. Okay, still technically not got a new structure low on the daily time frame. Nine minutes, and all I've done is one trade. No matter how quick I try to make this, you just can't rush it. Okay, so we are technically now putting a new high here. That's giving us a 50%. Always looking for harmonic moves where AB equals CD patterns when we get confluence when they come into the top of structure, just like this one here. It can give us sometimes nice opportunities. I do wait for a lot of confirmation in terms of double top, double bottom, or the head and shoulders. Double top and double bottom tend to be the ones that occur when you're looking at the 60-minute or lower. Head and shoulders do appear on the higher time frame because it allows, there's more time for the trade to create new structural lows or initial structural lows and give a potential rotation rather than just rally up and rally down. Okay, not a great deal here. Was looking like potential flag pattern actually. This is not directional enough for me though. However, you can still treat the channel the same. At some point we do break out of the channel and we would be looking for a retest of these lows down here, which has almost happened. We've come into that 618. You can see we got that rejection candle there. Yeah, missed out on this trade. And you would have got two targets as well. You can see here, just to show you, we come into that 618. If we look left for where structure was, came right into that structure level. This for me would have been my entry signal, this candle. You would have hardly gone into a raise. You would have got target 1s for 73, target 2s down here for around 120. But wasn't in it, missed it, or decided not to take it. Okay, we have a couple of advanced patterns here, a cipher and a back pattern. So what I'm going to be looking for just here is a head and shoulders. So there is the cipher. Here's the bat, completing down there. And I'll be checking out the 15-minute here for a potential head and shoulders. Can't look for the double bottom until we get down to the X leg. So if we do get down to that point, which is what we've just done now, and what we did is we actually closed below it looking here, so there was no entry signal there for me on those two trades, and for me it just adds more confluence to those advanced patterns because I don't trade them unless I have additional confluence like that, and it's just saved me quite a lot of pips there, as you can see on that potential trade. So we do have a new structure low now on the daily time frame, putting us in trend. We do here on the 60 as well. Okay, made a new low on the 60. Double bottom now on the 60. Okay, did make a new low. However, straight after it, we had a higher high, higher close. Indication there that we could be looking at a fake break to the downside. Up here, looking for shorting opportunities, we can see that we've had a rejection candle there, a lovely pin bar. So we had a new low, outside return, this was a new low, and this is coming up for the potential outside return. I do need a lower, lower, lower close here to get involved in the trade. Okay, there it is right there. We've got the psychological number 12900 that you can see, so I just want to be behind that, and because of this pin bar I'm going to need to be just above it. Okay, this doesn't look as though it's going to give me a 1-to-1, so 39 for 39. So what I'm just going to do is the next candle I'm expecting to rise quarter of the way up the previous candle, so my entry is going to be there. I'm going to play for a retest of the lows minus a couple of pips, and let's just check out the daily. We have made a new low on the daily time frame, and I can expect price to come down to 127.84s, 127.84s for second targets. Okay, let's see. Right, and if I zoom in, you can see that price did come up that quarter of a bar. Second targets are going to be just a few pips below the lows, so we're going to make that green. And second targets are going to be down at that that level that I indicated. So that's target 1s. Do we get target 2s? Yes, we do. Where were they again? Okay, so I said 120. Be looking at 127. Well, psychological number 12800s is where I would have taken them. I've just seen that. So secondary targets were a couple of pips above 12800. Which is there. So let's work this out. That's 21 and 40, so that's plus 61. Doing very well, 2 for 2 here. Okay, we have now put in a new low on the daily time frame. We're consolidating on the 15 and on the 60. Yeah, just junk this and just consolidating for me. Okay, we've had another break below close below here. Okay, could we be looking at a flag pattern on the 15? So we're down at this level. Just look left. Nope. Okay, not interested in that. Okay, so we're still in trend here, so new structure low, outside return, new structure low, outside return, new structure low. So I'll be looking for a lower low, lower close on the lower time frame, which is the 15-minute, which is this one. So we're getting wicks. Okay, there's our lower low, lower close. Technically did not violate this high here because of the wicks, and this should give us now, I just want to be 5 pips above the highs here. Okay, this is going to give me an inverse risk to reward. So what I'm just going to do here is again go quarter of the way up. I am going to play for a retest of the lows, and I will then be following secondary targets down if we do get them. Okay, so there's target 1s. So right now we have banked 24, so we banked 12, and secondary targets I'm going to follow down on every outside return. And we were stopped out, so just target 1s there for plus 12. So not had any flags yet or head and shoulders. I think these 3 trades have just been trend continuation trades. Okay, let's get rid of the 15-minute. Bring back over the 60. Does look like a potential head and shoulders here, but it's not occurred at a structure level that I can take it. Okay, and we've had a reversal. Okay, and the daily time frame looks as though it could be bullish for a little while we go back up into the previous outside return. Okay, so what I'm looking at here, right, we've come into structure, so that's nothing I'm interested in there. We could be looking at a head and shoulders here actually now. So let me just bring over the daily time frame. This is what I'm looking at here. We made this big move lower, and then we just, in fact we haven't quite come into the previous outside return. We've put in a lower close there, and so I'm looking at this here, high pullback. We did technically make a new structure high and double top here. Then we came down to here but did not technically put in an initial structure low, so a pullback for a right shoulder. Wasn't I waiting for this? I was, wasn't I? Oh, I must have moved the chart. So this is what I was looking at for a potential head and shoulders, is because I've not got the initial structure low, the only way I can enter is if we double top. And so I can then enter aggressively using a 2618, and so I just enter aggressively at that 1618, and if you look, it does come in at the psychological number 12900. There's my fill. Stops just above the double top, and then this could be quite a big move, so I would be looking for second targets right down at these lows, and I'm just going to put a structure line on where second targets are going to be. What I'm going to do is first targets are going to be a few pips above those structure lows there. So there's target ones. Target twos I'm holding for down here based off the daily. We did not get them, so that's 48 pips, so we bank half, so that's 24. Doing very well here, 4 for 4. Just goes to show you that if you wait and wait and wait and wait for your setups, they will come. Okay, AB equals CD pattern, coming up into this zone. Okay, we've got a 1618 up there, a 1414, we've got some real nice fib confluence up there. If we see a large spike up here, that would be good, giving us a rejection candle. Okay, nope, nothing here now. Let's delete that off. Keep looking right. Could have an advanced pattern if we come a little bit lower. This is what I'm looking at here. Yeah, it's valid. So looking at a cipher pattern, entry would be the 786. However, I'll be looking for a head and shoulders or a double bottom. That did not happen. We just rallied and hit both targets, but I was not in that trade, so cannot include it. And we're now going higher. On the daily time frame, we could be putting in a complex pullback here. You can see it here on the 60. So this is the last outside return. The complex pullback is basically a small trend within the higher time frame trend, and so we're basically looking at an AB equals CD pattern. Do not have the fib confluence for me, so this won't be a complex pullback that I can enter in on for trend continuation, but maybe, yeah, a little bit higher. I'll need price to come up to this zone, spike up to here, which is the 13100 psychological number. It also gives us these structure levels just here. and I can look for targets based off probably fib targets. I'll have to wait till price gets up there and shows me. Okay, we're meandering up there slowly, seeing a bit of a pullback. It's not a flag, it's not a channel of any kind that I can trade. Okay, we're coming back down into structure now. Be looking for a long opportunity if we get a double bottom. Nope, nothing. So what we have is new high, outside return, new high, outside return. Basically anywhere within this zone we want to be looking for long opportunities. Really need to be looking at the 240 here, to be honest, for those opportunities, but I do not have that chart open. I tell you what we have done just here, we have double bottomed at this zone. It's not a double bottom I can trade. However, if we do see a 26.18 trade here, this could be good for a trend continuation back up to this level. So let's see. Okay, there's the pullback. On this type of trade, I'm not going to enter aggressively. I need to see a hold because it's not happened at structure, and this is more aggressive for the 26.18. So we have just gone oversold. Okay, we violated it, so nothing there. And what we've done now, we have here on the 60 just violated the lows. So I could only enter based off the 240, and I don't have that chart open, so I'm going to ignore this now. And there you go. You can see that if we went to the 240, can I do it? Just, yeah, let me go to the 240. The chart will refresh, but oh, damn it. Yeah, I lost it. Okay, so here's the 240 again. I touched the daily time frame. Okay, so here on the 240 you can see double bottom. We had the RSI confirmation. We did go oversold. It came right down into the wicks just here, so this would have been an aggressive buy for me. And the way it would have looked was I would have gone, okay, so we've got a psychological number just here, the 12800. We're going to be underneath that. Entries were a retest here, so I'm going to want to be 20 pips underneath that because this is the 4-hour time frame. So this is how it would have looked, and you can see we would not have been stopped out, and as previously mentioned, because I already drew it out, it would have been for a retest of the highs. And so on this one we banked 189 pips. Of course, this would be a trade I was in. I was just talking about the double bottom. I am just going to pause it while I bring back this 60-minute time frame. Okay, just resumed the video. You can see here it is now on the 60. So that's 1, 2, 5, 4, 5 here on the pound dollar. Okay, what else do we have? Okay, we're still going up here. Violated structure. On the daily time frame, yeah, we're still heading up here, we're still bullish, but I am wary that we're coming up to the top of our outside return here and just how high we will actually be able to go. Not got any flags or head and shoulders here, which is a real shame. I would have liked something more than just the trend continuation, although we have had a couple of AB equals CD patterns. Okay, we have an advanced pattern here. Let's draw this out. So we have a Gartley pattern coming into this zone, so I'm going to be looking for reversals on the 15-minute time frame. So here it is on the 15. We're going to be looking for a double top. The double top can be anywhere in the wicks, so anywhere within this zone. So if we do come back up for a retest, I'm going to want my entry like that. And looks as though we've already hit fib targets. Yep, fib target one's already hit, so no entry for me on that particular trade. Let's move on. I'm interested in this area right here for a double bottom. You can see that we've violated structure that's been tested twice. I'll then be looking for a double bottom on the 15, which we do not have. Let's remove that. Okay, we're right near the tops now of that structure level, so I'd be potentially looking for a reversal here. Okay, we have put in another high. We've double topped, broke to the downside. What time are we on? 31 minutes. Okay, 5 trades. Not bad. Where's that double top occurred? Happened right here. Okay, this is not an entry for a big trend continuation to the downside. Okay, pulling back for a 26.18. Not something I'm interested in. Just noticed. Turned into a triangle. But it occurred at structure, so not something I can take. Okay, back pattern here, coming in at the 13200 psychological number. Don't think we're going to get an entry on this. I think it's too small using the 15-minute. Let's just bring it over and have a look. So looking for that reversal. Nope. Okay, moving on. Okay, we've violated here to the top. This could be interesting. A nice rally, a pullback. Is this going to give us a wedge, a triangle, a flag? No, it's not going to be a flag. We've violated. Okay. And what we have done now is we've had some real nice moves. New high, outside return, new high, outside return, new high, outside return, new high, and we're pulling back for this outside return anywhere within this zone, particularly looking at the 13200. We have just gone oversold on the RSI. This would have to be a lower time frame entry if I was to get anything here. Look, no. Okay, and we're just violated to the downside, so not something I'm interested in now. Ooh, okay, this is nice. A nice rally. Just violated structure. It's coming to that structure level there. I was looking for a shorting opportunity, but not now, because we are at structure, and that's why. Okay, flag. Nice rally down. looking like this. Due to the size of it, I'd say that this was a 4-touch flag, 2 touches on either side, but I can run through exactly how I look at that. So that's going to have to come down to here. So that means that that's going to have to be like that. Okay, so touch, 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 looking for a touch up here. We can look for maybe an AB equals CD pattern inside of it. We want to look at where structure is. This is what I'm interested in here, the wicks. And let's throw a fib on as well. And I do it from the start of where I believe the pole is, which is there. And we have a 618 coming in right at that zone as well. And because we have just violated structure to the downside, i.e. this level, then this gives us an initial structure low, even though it's at this structure level, and it will give me 2 targets to go for. So I need price to come up to test that 618 now, and potentially that 13200 psychological number. You can see that 13200 psychological number. We have, oh look at that, we've just tapped the 618. I do think price can go a little higher here. Where's that AB equals CD pattern? Yeah, the reason being is we've not, it's looking like we're going to put in this AB equals CD pattern, and we've not actually quite gotten up there yet. So I'm just gonna give it a couple more candles, keep going. Okay. What's the risk on this? I need to be there, don't I? 58, 114. Okay, we've just had a couple of lower, low, lower close candles here, so I'm going to use this as the entry. And yeah, I want to be there. So that's going to be my risk. My reward is a retest of the lows, and secondary targets are down at a 127 fib extension. Okay, and we do have that psychological number 3000 there as well. I've ensured that my stop is 30 pips above that psychological number and above the structure level here. I do think that we can spike up here though a little more, but let's see. There we go. We did get that spike up. We were not stopped out. If we move this trend line across, you can see it was adhered to. Technically now double topping up here, and what we're looking for now then is the break of this channel. You can see we've broken out of it, so I'm going to go ahead here. I actually can't reduce down the risk because of this wick, so this is a trade now we've just got to leave. Target 1's hit and target 2's hit as well, you can see that. So another winning trade here. So that's for 100, so we bank 50. This is for 70, so that's 85, 135. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 winners in a row. Oh. Here's the thing, guys. I'll be quite honest with you. My trading isn't this good. And emotions. That is what we as human beings, and me as well, bring to the table every time we trade. If I was to eliminate emotions, I said this in one of my videos, I would be probably one of the best traders in the world. I have no doubt. The fact is, I'm quite an emotional person, and no matter how much I try, I can try to limit emotions, but at the end of the day, it's part of me, it's part of my character. And I'm, pretty good at trading, but there's a side of me that lets me down, and it's my emotions. You could have a trader who's exactly the opposite, not a great trader, but is able to trade without any emotions, sticks to the plan 100%, does not get phased if he has 10 losses in a row. It just doesn't affect him. And me and that other person could be very, very similar in terms of our trading results. I think it's quite rare to find people that are good at everything, and with trading, you have to be a good trader, you have to be able to read the market, you have to be good at structure, advanced patterns, and then you have to have the emotions. And so it's very difficult to find somebody that's all around. But I mean, just to add this up, just roughly 170, 180, 200, 390, 490, 500, around about 530 pips up here. So let's crack on. We're 40 minutes in. It would be lovely to get a head and shoulders in here. What we're doing now is looking at the market was making all these new structure lows and all these outside returns just like this. Then new structure high, violation, and then another violation, putting us now in trend. Anywhere within this zone, be looking for shorting opportunities. Let's zoom in. And I haven't been paying that much attention to the 15-minute time frame, guys. There's been a lot of concentration going on to the 60 here. I'm hoping I'm going to get some losers because it doesn't look very real at the moment with 6 winners in a row. Okay, so this is interesting. Oh, good grief. I've missed this. Well, I couldn't have got my entry. See the AB equals CD pattern. Came down, hit target once for the 382. Never mind. Too busy talking. No entry there for me anyway. There's no double bottom or head and shoulders. This is interesting right here. I do like this. So we made a new low, outside return, new low, outside return, new low. So technically anywhere within this zone we can look for shorting opportunities, but if we zoom in, we've had quite a nice move here. We are then putting in what could be a complex pullback, and this complex pullback could come in right within the wicks, does it? No, it doesn't. Okay. Yeah, we've hit a 382. Do we have any fibs from up here? Okay, 50%. Do we have up from up here? 382. No. Okay, I'm going to pay attention to this area, although I don't think it's something I'm going to get involved with unless we get a very good, say, double top that's occurring on the 15, and that's not something I can enter. And as you can see, it did come off. We hit a little bit early for a retest and we dropped, but not something I can get involved with. So we have once again now made new structure low, outside return, new structure low, although we have just double bottomed. So at this stage, this is now not something I'm interested in. I'm not looking for a continuation lower. Checking out the daily time frame, we have just come into some inside structure on the dailies. Okay, so we've had an initial structure high here now above this level. We're going to pull back for a 2618 here and a potential head and shoulders. Nope. Okay, so we made a new high, a pullback, and we have now just made another new high. So I'm now looking for buying opportunities on the 15-minute time frame. Okay, I think we have an entry. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at here. We've got structure that's been tested 3 times, 4 times, 5, 6. If we look left, we've got 7, 8. So we're coming back into the wicks. We know that we're in trend continuation now because we've had our 3-point move. So anywhere within this highlighted area, I can drop down a time frame and wait for a higher high, higher close and get involved. And due to the risk reward here, I'm going to have to play for an extension. Okay, that extension is going to be right there. So let's bring over the 15. So I can treat this like a violation trade. So all to do is, you can see here that we've had a higher high, higher close. It's happened within the wicks. So I just need to be 5 pips below the low, which is going to make me 19. And okay, as if we can get up to these highs here, I'll then move to break even and wait for a retest of that trend line that I put on. So working our way up now. Boom, there we go. We've just rallied all the way up. You can see that we hit our targets. Lovely. Shit, 7 for 7. Oh, absolutely loving it. 7 for 7. So the violation trade, sorry, just to clarify this. Okay, violation trade. Don't use it very often, but I came across it when doing my back testing. What you're looking for is a momentum move through major structure. Major structure defined as being tested 3 times or more. I think here we had it tested 5, 6 or 7 times. You look for a pullback in the wicks, and you simply look for a higher high, higher close on the lower time frame, and then go 5 pips below the low. And as you can see here, the violation trade worked out beautifully. So this was my entry. We hit there, so that's plus 43 pips. Fantastic. And I am now paying attention to a potential harmonic move. So not an AB equals CD pattern, but a harmonic move coming up into this zone. And the reason why I'm looking at that is because it is the tops of this structure level right here. So I will then drop down the lower time frames, which is the 15, and look for an entry reason. So here's the 15. You can see that was our entry before, and we've got a massive spike here now on the 15. So this isn't going to give me anything. No double top and no head and shoulders. So it's going to be a no-go, this one. Ah, okay. No. Okay, so we've come up to this level. Is there any more structure here? Oh, look at that. Okay, just a little bit higher. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We did go oversold on the RSI, overbought, sorry. And then we've dropped. Yeah, there's no double top. There's no head and shoulders on the 15. Targets on this would have been the 382 and the 618. There's the 382. Okay, not in it though, because it didn't give me my entry reason. Delete. There is an advanced pattern here. No entry there, it simply just blew through. So let's carry on. Okay, still going higher here. Okay, I'm now looking at this AB equals CD pattern, and we're getting to our structure highs on the daily, so I will then be looking for a head and shoulders. I wonder if this AB equals CD pattern comes in at the very highs. No, it doesn't. It comes in there, but it does come in at the wicks on the dailies. So let's see what happens as we get up to that zone. I'll have to drop down to the 15 here for an entry if we get up to that level. Okay, no we didn't. However, let's just delete this off before we see too much of what's happening. New structure high, outside return, new structure high, outside return, new structure high. We're now in trend continuation, looking for an entry reason here. Because it is small and we have not yet tested the daily highs, I can drop to the 15, and all I need is a higher high, higher close. So just to see it, new high, outside return, new high, outside return. Anywhere within this zone, be looking for a higher high, higher close. We did not close into the wicks, so the higher high, higher close has technically not happened until here because of the wicks. So unless we come back down, I'm not going to have an entry here. So let's see if we just come back down here and get an entry on the 15. Nope. What a stinker. Oh, good grief. So we were right with the analysis, but no entry. So I'm expecting price now to go a little higher to retest the daily highs, although we failed to do that. And look at what we're doing now. Failing to put in new highs here. Still failing. Okay, now we've had a break below this entire structure level on the daily time frame. We did come up to retest our highs, so we could be looking at a reversal now. Oh, damn it, you're joking. I think... Oh, did I not draw this out before and say we need to be looking for an entry reason up here? Yeah, it's not something I would have traded though, in all fairness. So anyway, could be pulling back for a 26.18 trade. Okay, let's just go back a little bit. So I'm looking at a complex pullback just here. So what we had is we had a double top. Technically did violate here to the upside, though based on the dailies, and this we now violated to the downside. You could look at this as a 26.18 kind of trade, or a complex pullback. I don't think we're going to have any fib confluence here now, but I could be looking for shorting opportunities here, so I'd only be playing for let's have a look. Right, no, I'd only be playing for fib targets. So let's bring over the 15, see if we get something like a head and shoulders here, just so that you can see it. Here's the move. No double top there. There's going to be no head and shoulders here either. Typical. Okay, so we got the move to the downside. Would have been a 2 target winner. Didn't happen. Okay, we've violated everything down to the lows here. Okay, so what I'm looking at now is new low, outside return, new low, outside return. And then just here, we violated structure, pulling back, based on the fact that I think this is the reversal on the higher time frame. We'll be looking for shorting opportunities. We have come into the wicks here, so you could be looking for a first chance entry. Double top, it has technically happened, though there's no RSI confirmation. Oh well, there is. I can actually take the RSI at 70, but this isn't good enough for me, so this would have to be an entry based on the 26.18, so I'd be looking for a violation to the downside. There it is. Do we get a pullback before we retest the lows? Nope. Good grief, don't know how many times I've been correct here with the analysis, but just never got the entry. So this is interesting. We made another new low. We are now consolidating sideways. This could be a low and tight flag on the 15-minute, or this could be something else. We have a back pattern here, completing at the 886. We also have something else. Sometimes there can be an awful lot going on in these charts. I think we also have... no. So we could be looking at a reversal here based on the back pattern, or we could be looking at an AB equals CD pattern. So I'm just checking out the 15. didn't get a low and tight flag on the 15, and it's not moving in a way which is tradable for me. Okay, we've had a move higher, and there you go, the thing's just gone and hit target. Oh, it's not. Oh, okay, we're still in this. Well, we could get an entry here because we've now clearly broke to the upside and we're seeing a pullback. So targets would only be a 382, so I'm looking for an entry reason. Here it is on the 15. So we've had a move higher, pullback, move higher. So this could be a cipher. Okay, first of all, there is a cipher which you can use as an entry. Problem is it would violate down to here. I'm not going to do that. This in itself is a trading opportunity for me, a bullish move, and then pretty much all bearish candles. We have come into the wicks here, so all I'm waiting for is a breakout of the channel here. Stops will go below the lows here, and then I'll hold for the back pattern target. So let's see if we get the breakout. Waiting for a higher high, higher close. So we've had there it is. Okay, so entries just here. I'm going to want to be down here, and then targets are going to be the 382 of the bigger advanced pattern. Okay, so let's just draw this out here on the 15, and we know it looks something like that there. Okay, so fib targets, this is going to be a 1 in 1 out for me playing for that 382. Just make sure I have this fib correct. Okay, so that's too much risk there. I'm going to want to be 60. There. Okay, so that's my risk on this trade. My reward is up there, minus a couple of pips. Let's see what happens. Oh, don't come down, go up. No! Oh dear. Okay, so we lost 29. Oh no, a loss. Okay, alright, 57 minutes in. Don't want this to be too long, this video now. So our first loss. Oh dear, what a shame. We do have a big pattern down here. Big Gartley completing somewhere around this level. So I'll be looking for head and shoulders or double bottoms in that level, but right now we are trending lower. Okay. So we've come down to the completion of that pattern. We are also at the psychological number 12800. We could be looking at a harmonic move here. Going lower. You could also look at this as being a low and tight flag. My rules state I cannot take them at psychological numbers, so I'm going to be holding for price to come a little lower. And I'm just going to put a structure level on at our X leg just so I can see where price could come down to. Okay, so we've come down to that level right now. Okay, we could be looking at a head and shoulders. It's not going to be a very nice one. So look at what price has just done. New low. Violation. And then another new low, and then we've violated to the upside, giving us an initial structure high and a potential rotation. Let's bring over the 15. If this is a head and shoulders, it's going to be one ugly one. And this is what I'm looking at. So left shoulder, head, initial structure high. I need a pullback here on the right shoulder. It doesn't look like we're going to get it though. Look at what we're doing here. potential flag and breakout here. So it just isn't great, that. Let's go across a few more candles, see what happens. Okay, we broke to the downside, so we're back looking at our head and shoulders. These wicks are what I'm interested in here. We can get some kind of reversal here. Okay, so higher high, higher close. So this is my entry. 50 pips. Okay, so this is using the head and shoulders. So we were in trend to the downside. We then put in an initial structure high here. And then we pull back for the right shoulder into the wicks, and we've got a higher high, higher close on the 15. Let's just go back to the 60. So I'll draw it out on here. So my entry was here. My if this is a head and shoulders, then that's my risk just below the head right there. Zoom out a little bit. Make sure we did not violate these lows. So that's there. Ah, we did. We violated the lows on the 60. Invalidating it for me on the 60. It's probably still valid on the 240. And there you go, broke to the downside. We never got the entry because it violated. Let's just carry on and just see. Well, you know what, let's call that a day. It's been an hour and 2 minutes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 winners in a row, 1 loss, 8 trades, mainly trend continuation. AB equals CD patterns. We had a flag in there, didn't get the head and shoulders, which was a shame. So 110, 61, 12, 24, 189, 135, 43, and then minus 29. So plus 545 pips, guys. I hope this has helped any traders out there that are watching this on how to read price, maybe give you an indication of how I use the higher time frame and the lower time frame, and if you're looking at trading advanced patterns as well, I brought those into the mix and was able to use some of those entry techniques that I talked through. If you're going to learn how to trade these strategies, the most important thing to learn is how to read structure. So are we in a trend? Are we not? Are we in a consolidation? Are we not? And from there, everything gets very easy. What I would recommend, my personal interpretation, is that you should go and then learn how to do head and shoulders. And head and shoulders, even though we didn't get one here, are absolutely key for entries for me into reversal areas, and they happen all the time, particularly on the lower time frames. In fact, the 5 range, I have most of my head and shoulders on there. And head and shoulders is basically just structure. It's reading the trend. We then have a violation of the trend, and we're looking for that potential rotation, and that will just complement working the reversals or the pullbacks or the trend continuation trades, and from there you can build it into then flag patterns and into AB equals CD patterns and things like that. So really good video this, a lot of winners, 1 loss, 545 pips of profit. If only my real trading was like this. But this next year will be, it's my goal is to eliminate more of the emotions out of trading, and what I'll then be able to do is actually increase my position size, because I'll be taking fewer trades. I'll be taking trades that are more higher probability. Certainly my back testing is very similar to this, although I do have obviously a few more losses. There we go, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and give this video a like.